good. So part of what I'm doing then is to remind and refresh, and in some cases give you the Cole's notes in about 5 minutes. And our whole theme for the series is, as you see here, is beyond the guidebook. And the key phrase is being create livable communities to protect stream health. You know, we can create livable communities in the process to protect stream health. So that's a bit of a mantra. And Derek mentioned it. And so when we talk about design with nature and we talk about rainwater management, well, rainwater management is at the heart of green infrastructure. I mean, there's more to green infrastructure than rainwater management, but it's at the heart of it. And again, the mantra, to create livable communities and protect stream health. I'm going to keep hammering that theme. And so when we talk about beyond the guidebook, and part of this series, we have introduced everybody to a bunch of resources. Expect you to do your homework. I know Tom has been very good about doing his homework because he's always afraid I'm going to ask him a question. But I'm just going to just wave a few of the things. A number of you on the very first session got your copy of the guidebook from 2002. Beyond the guidebook, very thin document. I mean, these are all downloadable in our paperless society, at least parts of it. So, again, this is kind of the key language. Again, create livable communities and protect stream health. Feel like that, right, Nike? Right? And so, convening for action, in terms of kind of reminding us why we're here and why some of you have made this commitment to 3 out of 3, and some of you, if you had known about the first one, you would have been here 3 out of 3, but at least you're here 2 out of 3, right? I can tell by your smile. And so, convening for action, and I guess when we came up with this phrase a couple of years ago, a lot of us have been around for 30 plus years, and we've talked a lot in our careers, and time is running out, and we want to make things happen, right? And so we started talking about how we create a picture of the future that we want, and it really comes down to these 3 words. You got to have a vision, and you got to hear about the vision today for this valley. And so what the vision means, what will it look like? That's the what question. Well, the goal. Throughout this whole series, we've talked about the new business as usual, doing business differently, different ways of saying, but it's a time for change. So that's the so what. And one of the things that, again, looking back at 30 plus years of experience, is we're always been very good at planning, but we have this difficulty going from talk or planning to action. And that's the difference. At the end of the day, we want you to come out here so inspired that you actually do something. Not just sort of say, that was a great day I had. And that leads into the third part, which is the strategy. The now what are we going to do? What are we going to do better or differently to get from here to there? That's the there, right? What you want this place to look like. You can substitute Vancouver, you can substitute British Columbia. You know, it's part of this whole Convening for Action initiative. So that's your basic mind map of Convening for Action. What, so what, now what. Today is the now what part. So just a recap of the 3 seminars. September 9th was the what. And so you heard Katrina Weidman from the Ministry of Community Services, Community Development now rather, talking about today's expectations for tomorrow's standards, that they'll be ramping up, and we raised the bar, and after lunch, Laura Kate's going to pick up on that theme in terms of green choices, and the most recent ministry document. And so in terms of the 3 things you learned that day, we have moved from single-purpose stormwater management to multi-objective rainwater management. And I want to really hammer home that theme. You know that when you talk to me, I've just used the word stormwater for the last time. It's rainwater management because in terms of when you're talking to the non-engineering crowd, the non-technical crowd, they don't get it unless you use language like rainwater management because the body language changes, the minds open up. But that was one key lesson. The other one was the to get to the big picture, it starts from the smallest pieces. And I've already flashed the guidebook in terms of a science-based and outcome-oriented. That's a key word, right? Convene for action. We are outcome-oriented, not output-oriented. Fundamental difference. We're not trying to crank out numbers. We're trying to change the way our communities look and feel. Last month, and by the way, this has been a pretty significant commitment to you, right? September, October, November. And hopefully you've all had a chance to reflect on the material and maybe even done some homework. Remember, there was a homework exercise for today. I know Tom's done it. Catch you, Tom. But we made it easy for you. So, last time Susan Rutherford was here, our focus was on this document, the Green Infrastructure Guide, and we got into the legal issues. And I think that was very successful from our perspective in terms of rather than having Susan just talking about the law, building it around a set of questions and issues, and really truly getting a town hall segment going. That was really quite, from my perspective especially, really quite gratifying to see that we actually got a town hall segment going last time that we met. And if you remember, one of Susan's messages was, accept the risks when choosing a new path and look for the benefits that will result. So it's like saying, is the glass half full or half empty? Well, in my case, it's half full and the water level is rising. That's got to be your attitude. And lastly, which was our key message, especially with sitting in an IMO crowd and having Dean here, which is, if it's a dirty site, you'll be no building inspection. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to those smallest actions. That's where you win or lose it. Today, but now what? How long can you take quick notes now? I want to talk about 3 lenses to bring our future into focus. Now, you did get a reminder. I'll remind you again that in the last email, which Derek sent out yesterday, there was this document, 6-pager by Vic Dermott and Saanich Council called The Natural City. And if you haven't already downloaded and read it, I urge you to do that, because that's really the first bullet, which is he talks about how you're bringing the future into focus through a regional growth strategy, understanding climate change and quality of life in place, because it's one thing that characterizes the British Columbia in general, and this region in particular is it's all about the quality of life. So another one of the resources to make sure you read, because most of us are basically water guys, right, Ron? So water is the unifying element, but joking aside, I mean, it is the unifying element in that when you talk about climate change, inevitably you talk about water, aren't you? Whether it's floods or droughts. And so climate change adaptation is all about water, and significantly, I guess with your ministry on the water stewardship side, I mean, that's become the mantra, which is climate change mitigation, that's greenhouse gas, carbon, climate change adaptation is all about the water. So that's the other key message coming out of today. And then, of course, what this day is all about is the regional team approach will ensure consistency in doing business differently. And Maggie, I mean, we did that the Cowichan Valley Water Balance Forum less than a month ago, right? And that was part of it. Everybody, the local government, the development communities, the consultants, having the same storyline, the same understanding, so you get some consistency in how you do business. So that's the learning outcomes for today. Now, if you remember, for those of you who were last time, and I guess that was most of you because most of the hands went for the 3 or 2 lectures. You remember Susan Rutherford made a point of saying the commentary on effective municipal rainwater stormwater management, and this is the other document which was in the email yesterday, saying take the time to download it. Remember, Susan talked briefly about the first 2 pages. What I want to emphasize for you today is not only are there the 2 pages, the first 2 pages, there's also the second part, which is establishing watershed-specific runoff capture performance targets. That really relates back to the use of the water balance model as a tool to achieve the outcome. And that was why I referred to with Amy Razik here from the town of Cowichan Lake about the water balance model forum, which we had a month ago. Again, everything we talked about here is a bottom-up approach. So 2 important documents. Check that email if you haven't already downloaded them, and download them and read them. Living Water Smart, emphasizing this document, which those of you who were here at the first session got a copy of Living Water Smart. Here's the key quote, page 43, as Lynn Fry-Wilker, the Ministry of Environment, said to me, this is the linchpin of Living Water Smart. By 2012, all land and water management will know what makes a stream healthy and therefore be able to help land and water users factor in new approaches to securing stream health and the full range of its stream benefits. Again, what the desired outcome? Create new communities, protect stream health.
20-second comment or something like that.
Finally, reinforcing this point about the new business as usual and why the new business as usual, creating new communities and protecting stream health. So it's all about designing with nature. I can tell you know what I mean. Right? You probably remember Ian McCart. Anyway, so it's a design with nature approach, and the reuse of resources are key to climate change adaptation. And Eric?
Thanks, James.